Hi, and thank you for joining me. This is Jared Jones in Las Vegas. I'm a Las Vegas and Henderson real estate expert. And if you're watching this webinar, you have reviewed a flyer or a piece of marketing material that I sent to you regarding a home you own in Las Vegas and Henderson. And I want to speak to you specifically on some specific offers I have for you on your home. And I also want to get an incredible amount of market data to you that you may or may not be aware of. In fact, most industry real estate professionals are not as keyed in and plugged in as I am in some of the details that I'm going to share with you today on this webinar. So sit back, relax, grab a pen, try to eliminate as many distractions as you can so that you're able to get as much information and knowledge as you can. And you know, I'm a person who I spent a lot of time with the information that you're going to receive today, and I'm very exposed to real estate like you are, and I try to keep myself on the edge of what's going on in the market. So with that, again, try to minimize distractions, and you're definitely going to want to take some notes and review some of the articles and press information and statistics that I'm going to give you today, because it will definitely shed light on what's to come for your property here in Las Vegas. Okay, so with that, about me, my name's Jared Jones. I'm a real estate broker here in Las Vegas. I have been for 11 years. I'm an author, and I'm also a real estate expert, not from just doing a lot of home selling and helping buyers buy, but also on my own behalf. So I've sold over 3,000 homes in Las Vegas, which has earned me some reasonable accolades. I've owned probably closer to 50 investment properties in the past decade successfully, buying to rent out as well as buying for short term. With my exposure to real estate, I was ranked top 5 in the nation more than once with the amount of sales that I have out of nearly 2 million realtors. So today you are getting input not from someone who is self-professed as an expert, but someone who has national accolades on the exposure that that I've acquired and have been blessed to have as a result of helping a lot of people. So let's get into today's information. Problems and opportunities. Okay, there are some problems and some symptoms on the market that you need to be aware of that will help you strategize your next move and what you need to know about your house in Las Vegas or in Henderson. There's lowered inventory currently, okay? So lowered inventory. When supply comes down, then people obviously will tend to pay more, okay? Demand at the same time has also spiked, okay? I'll give you some input on what that means. There's troubling market concerns still, okay? We hear a lot of news in the market on every channel and in the newspapers about housing recovery, okay? Well, how true is that for Las Vegas? What does Las Vegas have in terms of trouble in the market still? Mortgage delinquencies. What is our investor saturation? Are we have high levels of investors, or do we have a high level of home ownership? Some different things there, okay? And we're going to talk about all those things today. But lowered inventory, as I mentioned, is a fact right now in Vegas, and it creates havoc, okay? It creates bubbles. It creates irrational price increases that do tend to reverse. You know, the old adage that nothing, stays the same over time. Nothing good lasts forever, and it's very true, and it creates somewhat of a roller coaster ride. But if you know what is going on, you are going to be equipped to make the most of any roller coaster ride, no matter what the market is that you're exposed to, okay? High prices reach places where buyers can't buy, and affordability becomes a real problem. In Vegas, a huge majority of 70–80% of the market buys homes under around 230, about 225, 230, mainly because of this factor you see right here, which is that most households in Vegas make around $51,000. Okay, mortgage affordability just really takes over, and as the prices start to really shift into the 200s, we really have a challenge where local folks can't afford what is being offered for sale, and that becomes a challenge. You also have demand spikes that is just an unsustainable driver, and that is Wall Street comes to town, okay? Wall Street has a couple of very large hedge funds that have shown up in Vegas in the last 6 months that you may not be aware of that's absolutely changing the climate and picking off properties and almost kind of in a contentious battle with those who want to buy homes here in Vegas. And that is Blackstone hedge funds. And one of their recent releases, they confessed to purchasing 16,000 homes. I personally have talked to one of their local acquisition managers who said they have goals to purchase in the hundreds of millions of dollars in homes as quickly as they possibly can. You don't have to vouch my word for this. UPI.com, an online news agency, reported how they are trying to buy 125,000 properties this year. It's actually at the bottom of this headline, and you can look that up later. But that hedge funds are absolutely on a grab to buy as many homes as they can. Well, conversely, there's something very important about this that you need to know, is that if you currently own a home in Las Vegas and there's a lot of buy to hold investor activity, that means you have a lot of investors coming to Vegas at the same time with the intention to buy a property and then put it on the market for lease, that you have lease saturation. Well, it's not a shock to me that Forbes magazine just a couple days ago, a few weeks ago at this time, put out this rate or this list of activity that you see on the right side of your screen about single-family housing. We lead the way in year-over-year family home rent rates dropping. Okay, so rents are actually contracting because landlords are having to offer unique and appealing options for tenants in order to get their property leased out against the competition. In fact, you can see a lot of information on the internet on this, on the fact that large hedge funds have property bases where they've been buying them and putting them out there, and they're empty, they're vacant, and it's saturating the tenant pool, or the actual amount of vacant properties the tenants have to choose from. So that's a challenge, okay? And you always want to question recovery when you see an article like this. And this was the Las Vegas Review-Journal, which if you've, if your home that you have in Vegas, if you've lived here, you know about the Vegas Review-Journal because it's our main paper. But they did an article earlier in March, mid-March here, about how Nevada foreclosure starts soared 300% in February alone, which is interesting because if we're in a housing recovery, why is this the case? I'm going to share some things with you. Well, we have a housing market bailout. Okay, it's called foreclosure stuffing, is an industry term that's kind of floating around, and that's where the banks have a lot of foreclosures that they just stuff in the background and don't take action on. Okay, so if the banks have like several properties and hundreds of thousands of properties to foreclose on, and they decide not to foreclose on those properties, then you in turn have properties that are basically sitting in the background that have to come forward. Okay, Bloomberg did an article on Bank of America alone that amassed $64 billion of mortgages that are at least 6 months delinquent and haven't even started foreclosure. Now, I've seen other articles that pointed to the fact that this is close to 1 million loans. Okay, we're just one state, but that is a lot of inventory that has to be brought forward. So it's all well and good, and the housing market can look positively when this stuff isn't being brought forward. In fact, here is a trend, and you can ask yourself, from the last year till now, how far do we really feel that this run-up in price can continue that you see on the right side of the screen? Because when back here in the fall of 2011, they halted the foreclosure activity, and look what happened. But if you're seeing articles like this that says the foreclosure starts are leaping back into action, where they cut them off here, so then a year later when they restart, they put up numbers like 300%. I don't know about you, but that to me is definitely some potential symptoms of what can be future changes in our supply chain and how many homes might be out there in the future for sale against your home. And once again, this is a 5-year trend right here. It was down before, and it went up into 09, and then it drops down again. It's just a steady cycle, and you really want to look into the future when you're considering what you want to do with your particular property here in Las Vegas. But the Vegas Inc. magazine is another local publication that distributes real estate news and then news in all different areas for Las Vegas. They also are online and on print. They highlighted in, I think this was in February, how we are the second most delinquent state for mortgages, even to now. And even though these trends in our pricing don't show it, this shows that almost 10.5% of our mortgages are in some state of delinquency, and that's what they pointed out just 2 months ago. So this is the reality of the background of what's going on, that there is not a steady place to point to that we've overcome and worked through the back channels of what's in the background. They also did another article about grab your stuff and go. Zombie homes abound in Nevada. And they pointed to the fact that nearly half of the foreclosed properties in Vegas are empty. So homes in Vegas that are in some form of foreclosure are empty. Now, the reason why this is something that I'm concerned with is that banks, if they ever modify or consider where they're going to foreclose, they would tend to look for places where there's minimal impact on the public because of how much bad press they get in the first place. When you have this kind of vacant inventory ready to be foreclosed on, that really is concerning to me as a property owner in Las Vegas, because it is the lowest hanging fruit, if you will, for the banks to get rid of what they've got sitting in their channels. No one is in the home. No one is paying for the property, and no one in that particular instance would probably raise their hand and say, why are you foreclosing on me, or be objecting to the bank foreclosing. So regardless of what you may know, that's a very good snapshot of what is actually happening in Las Vegas. Okay? Now, this is probably mind-boggling for you, as it is for me, because I've owned a lot of real estate and do own real estate in Las Vegas myself, for my personal residence and also for investment. But here's what I can basically summarize for all this, is that there are issues in the background. As I proved in through what is being reported, the foreclosure rates are high and climbing. The delinquency rates are high. The prospect of renting homes out going forward aren't great, and who knows how long pricing trends will stay up. I can tell you this right now. We have folks who moved away from Las Vegas, many folks, and the reason why I'm reaching out to you with this message is because there's so many people who didn't necessarily want to be a landlord in the first place. They moved away from Vegas for work or for family or for whatever reason, and they didn't want to keep hundreds of thousands of dollars in mortgage debt back in Las Vegas, but they were very close to breaking even or possibly even underwater. And they're calling me now, and they're walking away with $20, $30, $40, $80,000 more than when they moved out of Vegas 2, 3, 4 years ago, and beyond. And so it's a point in time where you absolutely have an opportunity to where the rental climate is changing and your price return is much more significantly in your favor right now. So when you see all of the conditions, it's the perfect storm for sellers. It's the best period of time for you to ask and gain a high price for your home than it's ever been in 5 or 6 years' time. And there's some information that you just really need to know that I want to share with you today on exactly what that means for your house right now. Okay? You obviously can wait and hope. Wait and hope for more. Wait and hope that the market never changes. Wait and hope that your lease will go up. You get more per month for the house. I mean, There's just a lot of things that you can be anticipating or possibly painted in your own mind on what your plans might be. You can get out on the high side. You can take advantage of the market the way it is and take a high offer for your home. You can continue on leasing or holding the property and continue on with your current plan. Okay, getting out house rich. Okay, house rich versus house poor. We do the heavy lifting. We work with a lot of investors. We have a lot of investors that have come to us when their home didn't sell with a tenant in it, and we help them by making it easy. We engage the tenant in the process for you. That means we get the tenant on the side of being interested in this process. You can't do it without the tenant. So tenant engagement's a big deal. If you've ever tried to sell your home, you're watching this because your home didn't sell and you received a mailer from me. The way that I sell homes and the way that we deal with the tenant involvement is much different and more critical, probably of a reach than you've ever been exposed to. So I want to make that known up front. But we do all the heavy lifting. We have options for you to make it very easy to sell your home with the tenant with minimal imposition on them and engagement with the property management companies you might have. We have a completely paperless process. We're very consistent and adept to electronic communication so that email processing and updating is very simple for you. That way working out the sale on this end is very simple. But we'll, again, incentivize and manage the tenant concerns from key to sale. Okay, so that's a big deal. But there's two options for you. One that is on top of your mind that you may have, that obviously interested you in this video and in this webinar rather, is a quick hassle-free cash offer in 98 hours. I'm going to tell you who makes that cash offer and how it's made and what you can expect to receive. Additionally, I'm also going to offer you a 101% of value guarantee. It's a written guarantee as well, another option for you to get over the value of the market in writing from me up front. Okay? So each is a unique offer, unique option, specific to whatever it is that you desire out of this sale to make sure that you can take best advantage of this moment in time in our market. Okay? First of all, a hassle-free cash offer. The buyers are investor buyers or buyers that have cash that want to buy homes for themselves. Okay? Typically, an all-cash offer will come from an investor offer, but it can be owner occupants as well. The way we do that is as soon as you decide you want a fast, free cash offer, we will get the investor the information on your home, and we get a quick response, and the offer is then transmitted to you wherever you are. The offer is cash, all cash, with low or no contingencies. It has a very brief inspection period, most likely, but other than that, it could be a few days, and then you'll be moving on to closing. It's a low hassle for occupants, okay? So there's no need for spring cleaning. There's no need for extended maintenance concerns. There's no need for changing occupancy levels or being concerned with, with how you can manage the sale with this tenant involved, if there is one. And you get paid generally 19 days, under 19 days from the time you actually get the offer accepted and everything else. Okay, so how much do they pay? How much will you get on a 98-hour cash offer? Okay, well, any buyer is going to pull 2 or 3 homes that are sold. They're going to pull 2 or 3 homes that are on the market for sale. They're going to balance those out, and generally, our cash buyers for a 98-hour cash offer will pay up to about 91% of the value of average comparables. Okay, now if this is an option that you really want, if you want an easy process, obviously a 98-hour cash offer could be suitable for you. Okay, but let's say that you want more for your home. You want top dollar, in fact. We have a written guarantee that's considerably higher than this. I'm going to show you what that is as well. Okay, most homes that we do for the 98-hour cash offer are valued at $500,000 and below. Okay, we have done homes over $500,000, but that is about the ceiling. Okay, not saying that we wouldn't consider bringing something like that to a buyer, but that's just a track record from the past. Okay, all right. So with that, we have an incredibly effective buyer profile system. So whether you want 101% of the value of your home, over market value, top dollar, or you're looking for expedience, quick, painless, hassle-free, quick offer on your house in 98 hours, whatever it is, however you're looking to do this, the reason why that you can get a quick offer either way, top dollar or fast cash offer, is that I have an incredibly effective buyer profile system, okay? I have a proven, powerful, high-powered home buyer marketing system. It's both print marketing and offline because we've led the market. We have homes to sell. We have hundreds of buyers calling our office. And a lot of people just let the buyers call in and they direct them and they try to sell them a home if they can. But we don't do it that way. We actually bring the buyer to our office. We profile them in detail, get an idea of exactly what they want. We require them to go through a lender, or if they are cash, to provide us with proof of funds that they have the money to provide a purchase. And we organize them in our system, and we have thousands of buyers in our database at this point, and we organize them by what they want and what they are buying, what they're interested in. So what we do is within a day of you deciding that you want either a 101% of value guarantee or a fast cash offer, we pair you up your home with one of the buyers in our buyer profile system. Specifically on the 98-hour cash offer, we pull a buyer that has cash that's already ready to go. Okay. The 101% of market value is also, we also do an email and update our base. And it's not uncommon that within 24 hours we get an interest from someone in our database for even the 101% of market value. If not, some cases, 48 hours we might even have multiple offers of interest. So that is how that works. But when we actually do an over market value 101% or more, you get a written guarantee from me on the difference. Okay. Now, the 98-hour cash offer is just that, 98 hours cash offer. I told you an idea of what most buyers want to pay when they come in all cash. Most all cash buyers want a little bit of a discount. But if you say, Jared, you know what, I'm willing to, to give you 3, 4, 5 weeks to send my home to your database, to get all the buyers in your buyer profile system to look at my home, and to run a 16-point marketing system in which you can guarantee me top dollar over market value, then if you'd say, you know what, 4 or 5 weeks isn't an option to get a lot more from my house, then you will get an over market value guarantee. So what happens is we take a look at your home and we kind of get an idea of what we've got to do. We have a 16-point marketing system, which you would agree to, which is nothing more than a sign, access to the home for reasonable showing, and then a lot of marketing, which, I spend around $18,000, $19,000 a month on marketing, which involves, I have my own newspaper, and we have around 75,000 eyeballs that just land on our offline stuff. I mean, not online, offline. That means just the stuff that we put in print to get your home exposed, as well as the internet. The internet's just massive. It is expensive. Most realtors these days avoid offline print marketing because of the expense. We don't. We have a very big offline presence, and because I do a bigger business, you can expect bigger things as a client. You can expect that from me that you can get a confident offer that you're going to get enough for your home. And if you don't, I'm making up the difference. Okay. So what happens is we establish market value as we always do. Okay. Just described it a few slides ago. But the way we establish market values, you look at the solds, you look at the availables, and you look at the house. And then based on all that, we agree on a fair market value for the home. I then give you a written guarantee at 101% up front and in writing, or I'd make the difference. Okay. Now you'd say, Jared, what if I want to ask even more? I'm thinking I want to go 5%, over asking price, or 3-4% over value to give room for negotiation. Okay? You say, well, can we do that? You absolutely can do that. Now, I'm always going to guarantee you 101% of value, but we can put the price on your home and set it to test the market where you are comfortable. Okay? So we will always agree on the price you set on the home. But you'll agree to allow marking of the home with reasonable showings, just to make sure that we have the opportunity to get that top dollar. And I'm not going to promise you a result. I'm going to guarantee it, as stated before. But the interesting thing is you're there. You're wherever you are as you listen to this webinar today, this afternoon. You could be anywhere. You could be in California, you could be in Florida, or you could be in New York, and you don't have any agent that you know of in Vegas, or you at least have to call and hope you get a good realtor in Las Vegas. And from there, you want to have the money that you have in that home come back to you. Well, with my written guarantee, you will do better than the market because of the guarantee itself. This graph right here is what you can see in the middle as the average sold to asking ratio. Okay, this average sold to asking ratio is a average of what people are getting from the price of their home in the market. Okay, you can see quick math right here that it's running at 99%. Okay, with my written 101% guarantee, it's a 2-point spread from the 99% average that you automatically are already ahead. And when you're in another market and you don't actually know people in the Vegas market, this helps add confidence and reverses risk onto me personally that I've got to do a really good job for you and get you out of your home at top dollar. Okay? Now, for the sake of track record and giving you some more social proof that I lead the market as I say I have, the most recent 2 years that I have for market trends is 2011 and 2010 full year results. And you'll see this is out of the entire list of agents in Southern Nevada. Okay, led the way here, selling 700 some odd homes, led the way here, selling over 900 properties those 2 years alone. You can see information on me on the internet. Time Magazine did a section in their business regarding me. The Las Vegas Review Journal's done information on me. I support local business real estate trends. I did a piece on just last fall for CBS. And track record is obviously not an indication of future results, but when you don't know an agent, I mean, what else can you hang your hat on as far as the quality of the person that you might be working with? And I want to tell you, with what I've got here, this is just what I can fit in a webinar, a brief webinar, to give you an idea of what's going on in the market and what is going on with your home. And if there were more time, I would give you other guarantees that you will get when we work together. Okay, when we work together, you're going to have guarantees based on communication and based on promises for marketing, all these things. So I'm not an agent who makes promises. I give you written guarantees that reverse risk on me to do a very good job for you. Okay, and most agents would not sign the guarantees and make make written guarantees that I would make because they are all talk. They will not back up their performance because it's risky for them. Okay, I have the budget and I've done the business and do the business ongoing, and so as a result, I'm able to do bigger things for my clients, and you're the beneficiary. But if this is of all interest to you and you want a 5-minute over the phone, free, no obligation to sell consultation on what we can do for your home, and get an idea of what you might expect to take to your pocket, it's an absolutely free service. And I think following that call, if the next step would be we could do one more meeting and give you an in-depth detail of how we make these offers, how the guarantee is made, what you can expect to take to your pocket in today's market, because I'm guessing you haven't really thought about it. So you're going to call 702-496-5000, 702-496-5000, and you're going to ask for me. And if I can't reach you immediately, we'll talk as your schedule can collide with mine, and I'll go over exactly the details of what's going on with your property. Even if you had a failed sale, you tried to sell in the past, you will be astonished at the information that I will give you on your home. You absolutely do not want to miss this opportunity to get what you can get out of your home. But let's say you're not ready to call. You appreciate the data. You appreciate the professionalism, the updates, and all that. But now isn't the time, okay? You're going to stay in your home maybe later this year as a second home, and then maybe you'll sell it after that. I would encourage you to visit 7sellermistakes.com. That's www.7sellermistakes.com, or call 800-480-8707 and enter code 4000. And when you do that, you will get a free report entitled 7 Mistakes That Home Sellers Make That Cost Them Thousands. It's a report that we've been using over the last few months because of so many new pitfalls, and it absolutely blindsides sellers. And the shame of it is they're completely preventable mistakes. But this is just a basic landing website page where you can just request it anonymously. This is a free recorded 800 number. You're not speaking to any salespeople to make that request. So to get a copy of the 7 most common home seller mistakes, preventable mistakes that cost you thousands, definitely check in 7sellermistakes.com or go to 800-480-8707. Enter code 4000, and you can get that information as well. But as in hindsight, if you have any questions on the market, any of the input that I've given here, if you'd like an evaluation and find out what the homes in your area down the street are selling for, you would absolutely be amazed. We just have a lot of folks that have called us from out of area that we end up helping, that are just ended up getting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 and beyond, more than they even thought they could, because the market is so dramatically changed. And as you know, with any great investment in real estate, timing is everything. Making the decision to sell your property is just as critical of a decision as it was when you bought it. And you're absolutely in a very unique time in this market. And once again, for a free, no obligation call to get an idea of what you might take to your bottom line, give me a call, 702-496-5000 today, 702-496-5000. My name is Jared Jones. It was great having you on this afternoon. I hope all the information I gave you was helpful, would be beneficial to your planning and to your year. And I just hope you have a great evening, and thanks again for attending this webinar.